Welcome to the Transformation Brief, where Allied Command Transformation turns ideas into capabilities for NATO's future fight. Today, we're talking beacon projects. Hello, I'm your host, Jackie Faye Burton. Because transformation can sometimes feel abstract, beacon projects are designed to make it real. They are NATO's priority efforts to accelerate capability development, to test, integrate, and deliver what the alliance needs faster. This year, Allied Command Transformation has 6 of them: TFX Baltic, TFX Arctic, SIMBAD, LCIX, Next Generation Targeting, and AI and Audacious Training. Each one is tackling a critical piece of the future battlefield. Joining me now is a man overseeing 3 of these projects, Major General Arnoud Stallmann, the Assistant Chief of Staff for Multi-Domain Capability here at Allied Command Transformation. Sir, welcome. All right, sir, thanks for being here. And before I get into the meat of the conversation here, I always like to figure out who the person is that I'm talking to. You're clearly in a flight suit. Your call sign says ditch there. Tell me the story behind this.
Yeah, so my background is F-16 pilot, and when I was starting at the squadron, the first day actually, I just met the guys, and at the end of the day I drove home and I drove the car into a ditch just close to the airbase. So everybody was leaving the airbase at the end of the day, and they saw my car getting pulled out of the water, and I was standing there in the green suit. So I came home that night and I asked my wife, so what would they call me tomorrow? And I think it would be ditch. Yeah.
But the question is, were you wearing aviators at the time?
Yeah.
So as long as you look cool, I guess
I think so.
It doesn't always matter. Okay,
Yeah.
so for flying F-16 for 35 years, you trained in the U.S. and then you were also deployed 8 times to the Middle East and the former Yugoslavia, and now this is your first NATO command. What do you think of it?
Yeah, so I'm used to take decisions for myself and by myself, also on a higher strategic level, once you progress through the ranks. But nowadays, yeah, NATO is a political alliance, so we need to align the 32 nations, and that takes time. So it takes time to bring tangible capabilities to the warfighters itself, and I'm impatient, so sometimes it takes too long time. Yes.
I completely understand you there. Okay, let's get to it. So the beacon projects, they're about moving concept to capability. Let's talk about the first one that we are both actually going to see in action in Romania, LCIX. I think a lot of people at home have heard it talked about in the media as the drone wall along the eastern flank, but it actually stands for Layered Counter Uncrewed Systems Initiative. But what is NATO exactly trying to achieve there?
Yeah, so we're trying to achieve to bring industry and national military capabilities together in an event where they can demonstrate what they are capable of against drones like the Shahed types. And we really would like to see what they are capable of, but then also connect them so that we create cells that we connect together as well, and then create a wall along the eastern border to protect ourselves for drones flying in. And it's very important that those beacon projects, because I talked about that political alliance and it takes time to get decisions and capabilities to the warfighter. So we are trying to, within a year, get those capabilities ready to be introduced into the national armaments.
Okay, so LCIX, it's all about not just being able to intercept the drone, but take it down in a timely manner and also in a cost-effective manner. So, but this is a layered integrated system, so detection, tracking to defeat. We've seen, this is particularly useful in the way wars are fought now. We're seeing it in Ukraine, but stepping back in order to see earlier and understand faster and make decisions at the speed of relevance, you have to be able to really see a broad picture. And that brings me to another beacon project, SIMBAD, which stands for Smart Indicators in Warning Broad Area Detection and Maritime Domain Awareness. That is a mouthful, yes, but at its core, it's about giving NATO earlier and more persistent awareness using commercial space-based services to monitor activity. What problem, though, is SIMBAD solving for the alliance?
Yeah, so this is the first time that we use commercial space data, so we buy a product that can deliver a capability to NATO. So actually that's the improvement here. And what SIMBAD delivers is broad spectrum analysis of what's going on in the world. And then we can bring more specified ISR platforms to it if necessary. But the real goal is to prove to NATO that we can use commercial data and incorporate that in our own systems. For now, it's on a swivel chair, I would say. So we don't have it incorporated in our systems yet, but we're working on that as well, that during summertime or so we'll integrate it in our normal command and control systems.
Okay, so it's all about having decision advantage, seeing more, seeing earlier, and putting it all together. But let's go north now, because another beacon project, TFX Arctic, takes us into a very different environment. The high north in that area is becoming increasingly important for the alliance, strategically, operationally, and environmentally. It's about testing capabilities in some of the most demanding conditions on this planet. It's cold, it's distance, limited infrastructure. What are we doing with this experimentation, TFX Arctic?
Yeah, actually, it's so harsh, the environment over there. So we are already capable as NATO, and we should improve in it, to connect and have persistent surveillance everywhere on the world. But also in the Arctic, of course. So making the connection and being persistent, capable of persistent surveillance in the Arctic is really difficult. So we'll test everything we have and bring that to the level of Arctic operations. And that's really important for us to be there as well.
All right, so because operating in the Arctic, it's not just about surviving the environment, well, that's step one, but it's about maintaining combat effectiveness within it, ensuring that NATO can operate across all domains and in all conditions. So when we are talking about beacon projects, we're really talking about focus. Focusing the alliance on the capabilities that matter most, testing them, integrating them, and delivering them at speed, from countering drones to building broader awareness, to operating in the high north. These are not future ideas, they are capabilities being built now. And thank you at home. That's all for this episode of the Transformation Brief.